So you guys, this transformation is not done with road skincare. So today we have Hailey Bieber, and we can see that she looks very different from her before and after.
Selena Gomez has once again found herself tangled up in Hailey Bieber drama. And this time the tension is spilling over from personal history into business territory. What seemed like old wounds finally buried suddenly resurfaced online, and fans were quick to catch on.
Look at the forehead. The forehead actually looks longer in the before picture and shorter in the after picture. So you guys, if we look at her brows, she's definitely had a brow lift, and she's also changed the placement and the way she draws in her brows. That she's definitely had a brow lift. And then going down the face, so like, do I even need to say it? 100%, she's had a rhinoplasty. Please, Bobby. And then as far as her under eyes, you guys, so see how she has some tear trough here, more hollow in the under eye, and then more volume in the after picture. So she's had filler in the under eye, which actually looks amazing.
Allegedly, Selena's beauty label, Rare Beauty, reposted a clip that appeared to throw subtle shade at Hailey Bieber's skincare brand Rhode. Fans noticed it within minutes, grabbed screenshots, and social media lit up with speculation. The post vanished soon after, which only made people more suspicious about what really happened. At the same time, Selena's marriage to Benny Blanco was being dragged into the spotlight.
Selena's trying to hold Benny Blanco's hand the whole time, but he only gives her attention when a fan's trying to take a picture. The instant running back.
Though not because of anything they've done. Instead, Justin Bieber has been posting emotional and cryptic messages that fans believe are tied to Selena. People online are now dissecting every lyric, caption, and photo, convinced that the posts have deeper meaning. Many users say the entire situation feels uncomfortable and unfair for Selena and Benny, who've been trying to live peacefully and avoid chaos. But the headlines won't let them be. Peyton, their relationship is somehow under strain, all because Hailey and Justin's unresolved drama seems to keep circling back into the picture. In the beginning, the public largely supported Selena and Benny. Their low-key private approach earned them respect and admiration. But once the Rare Beauty repost went viral with multiple versions circulating online, the tone shifted. Some claimed the clip clearly mocked Hailey's brand, while others insisted it was a misunderstanding or even a doctored post. The internet quickly divided. Critics said that if Selena really approved the repost, it went against the image she's built around healing and peace. Supporters defended her, pointing out that big brands often have social teams handling posts and honest mistakes happen. They also reminded everyone that Selena has often spoken about not turning women against each other, which adds another layer of irony to the backlash now surrounding her name. What's making this whole situation even louder is the history fans refuse to let fade. People still remember when Hailey reposted a video that hinted her marriage was falling apart and suggested Justin was struggling, only for her to later deny ever sharing it. That moment spread fast across the internet and left behind a huge wave of trust issues that never really went away. Now people are drawing direct connections between that mess and what's happening again right now. Justin's recent behavior is only adding to the chaos. His emotional captions, drained public appearances, and moments where he seems totally disconnected have fans worried all over again. Some believe he's expressing his emotions publicly instead of dealing with them privately, which just keeps fueling more online theories and debate. Meanwhile, Hailey has stayed focused on pushing her Rhode brand, showing up perfectly styled at events and promoting products with precision. Critics think her calm exterior feels overly staged and too picture-perfect, almost like she's trying too hard to control the narrative. Supporters, on the other hand, say she's simply handling her business and defending her relationship in the most professional way possible. Nothing here has been confirmed, but every repost, every denial, and every emotional message keeps reopening the same old wounds fans once swore were healed. It's like Selena keeps getting pulled back into a story that everyone promised was over long ago. Now, the internet's waiting to see whether Rare Beauty will finally speak up. The brand's silence is only making things more intense. In a moment this charged, staying quiet can sometimes make things worse because it gives rumor after rumor the space to grow without any real answers to shut him down. Reports say Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco tied the knot in September 2025. And for a while, everything seemed peaceful. Fans were genuinely thrilled to see her step into what looked like a new calmer chapter after years of public heartbreak. People called it her healing era, hoping she'd finally get to breathe and start fresh. But just a few months later, whispers about trouble in their marriage started spreading online, and the timing couldn't have been more suspicious. The rumors hit right when talk about Justin and Hailey allegedly facing their own marriage issues started heating up again. Fans watching closely couldn't help but notice how perfectly those stories overlapped, and to them, it didn't feel like coincidence. Adding to the noise, Rare Beauty and Hailey's Rhode brands suddenly got pulled into the same online conversation. People started analyzing every marketing move, acting like the brands themselves were part of some ongoing personal rivalry. Rare Beauty's emotional, inclusive image stood in sharp contrast to Rhode's sleek, minimalist luxury tone. And now fans were reading deeper meaning into every campaign, color choice, and caption. Soon, social media turned it into a competition. People took sides arguing over which brand felt more genuine and which woman was winning. Then came the alleged Rare Beauty repost that appeared to shade Rhode, and it flipped the internet overnight. Even without confirmation, fans treated it like solid proof that the tension between Selena and Hailey was still alive behind closed doors. From there, it only escalated. Rhode supporters accused Selena's team of being strategic and manipulative, while Rare Beauty fans fired back, saying Hailey has long benefited from the drama surrounding her name. What began as a beauty industry debate quickly spiraled into something personal, digging up a decade's worth of relationship history that everyone swore was finally over. A supposed fan account recently went after Selena Gomez's marriage, accusing her of ruining her image and predicting that her husband, Benny Blanco, would eventually leave her. Instead of sharing facts, people instantly jumped into judgment mode, turning cruel speculation into entertainment. Some even cheered on the divorce rumors, saying they knew it wouldn't last, which feels harsh and unfair, considering how new their marriage actually is. That kind of reaction shows how little empathy celebrities get from the internet these days. Now, fans are breaking down every single detail, from body language to travel habits. Somehow, Benny's fear of flying became part of the conversation, with people claiming it could create distance or limit how the couple lives their life. Others think that's a stretch, just another excuse to dig for cracks in a marriage that's still finding its rhythm. The truth is, Selena and Benny's relationship is still very new. There haven't been any official statements, public fights, or confirmed issues between them. Sure, some fans say Benny looks less affectionate lately. Fewer public handholds, quicker kisses, a quieter presence. But that doesn't necessarily mean anything's wrong. Others argue that not every couple needs to act romantic in front of cameras to prove their love. Unlike Justin and Hailey, whose marriage has existed under constant attention, emotional posts, and public brand comparisons, Selena and Benny have tried to stay grounded and private. Still, no matter how quiet they keep things, the brand drama somehow finds its way back to them, pulling them into the spotlight they've been trying to avoid. Right now, the situation around Selena Gomez feels like a mix of business tension, unresolved history, and nonstop internet obsession, all tangled together into one noisy story that might not even reflect reality. And just when it seemed like things couldn't possibly get any more chaotic, somehow the Beckhams got dragged into the drama, sending everything spinning in a new direction. A TikTok that's been gaining major traction recently pushed the gossip to another level. The video, which uses copyrighted music so it can't be reposted directly, makes some heavy claims that are now spreading fast across social media. The people in the clip suggest that Selena didn't marry for love, saying she supposedly settled with Benny Blanco while still being emotionally connected to Brooklyn Beckham. This is a wild claim with zero evidence behind it. Just another layer of speculation built on theories stacking over old rumors. Once that talk blew up, fans started digging deep. They pulled up old photos, old comment threads, and moments from years ago showing Selena and Brooklyn being friendly. Some are calling him the one that got away, completely ignoring the fact that Brooklyn was already in a serious relationship with Nicola Peltz at the time and later married her. What really added fuel to the conversation was the history between Selena and Nicola themselves. They once seemed close, posting about each other, leaving kind comments, and even being seen at events. Rumor has it Nicola was even given Selena wedding advice before everything went quiet between them. Then, seemingly overnight, the friendship appeared to fade. Fans noticed that Brooklyn and Nicola weren't invited to Selena's wedding, and that detail became the center of endless theories. Social media treated the absence like undeniable proof of a fallout, even though no one involved has said a single word about what really went down. What was once seen as a sweet friendship turned into another mystery for the internet to pick apart, blurring the line between genuine relationships and the stories fans create online. Silence has now become its own form of evidence in the court of public opinion. With no official statements from anyone involved, fans have started building entire narratives out of thin air. Some are rewriting the story completely, insisting that Selena Gomez's marriage is somehow connected to unresolved feelings from her past, even though there's no real timeline, no proof, and no concrete facts supporting that claim. It's like speculation stacking endlessly on top of more speculation, turning into a cycle that never stops feeding itself. And just when it seemed like the internet might finally run out of theories, another wedding-related story suddenly resurfaced. The one people can't seem to stop bringing up. This time it involves actor Martin Short, who recently admitted during his appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live that he accidentally ruined Selena's wedding cake.
A wedding cake by our section, but it was a small wedding cake. I just assumed that there was a wedding cake for each section. They haven't cut their wedding cake yet. Maybe I'd had a cocktail, I don't know. So I said, oh, Steve, you can't leave. I had a fork in my hand. You can't leave, without a piece of wedding cake. And I cut the wedding cake, one side, cut it the other, and then all the people in our group screamed, Marty! It was the wedding cake.
So this wasn't just...
And you see, I tried to fix it with a fork. It was bad. This was about an hour before it was to be presented. I turned to Paul Rudd and said, so do we just leave?
Martin explained that he mistook a smaller, beautifully decorated cake for the one meant for guests and started cutting into it without realizing it was the display cake meant for photos. When he told the story, he laughed about it, saying he didn't even think twice in the moment. The clip quickly went viral, and sure enough, there's actual footage of him casually slicing the cake as people in the background look visibly stunned. The reaction online was instant. Viewers cringed, laughed, and winced all at once. It's one of those moments that feels painfully human and hard to watch. Honestly, if that had been me, I would have wanted to vanish on the spot before ever having to look the bride in the eye again. Now, some fans are treating that lighthearted cake incident like it carried some deeper meaning, a bad omen or secret symbol, when in reality, it was just an innocent mix-up that turned into a funny story. But once people start looking for cracks, even harmless moments get twisted into proof of something bigger. Suddenly, every detail becomes evidence in a storyline fans have already decided is true. Right now, it feels like every old friendship, every awkward encounter, and every unreturned invitation is being reimagined into a full-blown drama. Selena Gomez's life is once again under an online microscope. And what it really reveals is how deep the internet's obsession runs, not how she's actually living behind closed doors. According to Martin Short, he tried to keep the whole cake mistake quiet until the wedding was over, hoping it wouldn't turn into gossip. But toward the end of the night, Selena herself came over and laughed, saying, "Hey Marty, I heard you try to eat my cake." That moment alone showed how relaxed and good-natured she was about it, even in a situation that could have easily turned awkward. In the footage, you can see people doing their best to fix the cake, shifting pieces, smoothing frosting, and reshaping it just enough for photos. Still, it was obvious something wasn't quite right. The cake had already been cut into, but instead of letting it ruin the vibe, Selena took it all in stride. She didn't make a scene or embarrass Martin publicly. She laughed it off, keeping her composure with grace. Considering how emotional weddings can get, that calm reaction says a lot about where her headspace is really at right now. Let's be real, if that cake fiasco had gone down at another celebrity's wedding, the reaction probably wouldn't have been so calm. Social media instantly lit up with comparisons, with people joking that if this had happened at Taylor Swift's wedding, the vibe would have been completely different. Some fans said they'd be terrified of the long-term fallout, while others laughed, saying Martin Short would have been banned from Hollywood parties for life. Fair or not, it really shows how people expect celebrities to handle situations like this with impossible levels of grace and control. What's fascinating is how quickly moments like this get pulled into bigger narratives. Suddenly, it's not just about a cake. It's being linked to rare beauty versus road drama, marriage rumors, and talk about old friendships. Even a funny, innocent mistake becomes a piece of evidence in the ongoing story people keep building around Selena Gomez. That's how wild online speculation has become. Once the internet locks onto a storyline, every small moment starts looking like a clue, even when it's harmless. Nothing gets to stay simple anymore. Everything turns into part of a larger theory.so. Here's the question everyone's quietly wondering. Are people reading way too much into these random moments? Or do you think all these subtle details actually point to something bigger behind the scenes? Is Selena truly unbothered, or is she just choosing calm in public while quietly blocking out the noise in private? And what about the constant brand comparisons and relationship callbacks? Are they being unfairly tied to her marriage, or are fans seeing patterns that aren't really there? Share what you think in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe to Star Watch to stay in the loop for more updates. Let's keep this conversation going. You won't want to miss what happens.